Hi and welcome. One of the most mysterious TextMesh Pro tags is the link tag. This tag can enable you to do a lot you might not have thought possible before and not just display a linked URL. Think about this tag like it links up with your game systems, less about linking to websites. So, over the next few videos, we will have a look at this mightiest of tags and a couple of examples of what we can do with it. In this video, we will start with a small example project about displaying some kind of tooltip when a word or a sprite in your text box is being clicked. In the next tutorial, we will see how we need to modify this system to display infos when we hover over certain parts and go a bit deeper into which kinds of infos we can get by using the link tag. The base setup of my scene is this. I have a big text box with a recipe for bread here. These tags here are custom tags I wrote to have a gradient play by using the text animator and don't matter for the system to work. But I am a designer, I need pretty things. I want to have a tooltip box pop up when I click on the ingredients and I want it to display the name of the ingredient as well as some kind of visualization. The tooltip is a simple game object with a background image, a TMP object to hold the title, as well as an image below. I also use an animation to have the tooltip appear, but that's really just for the sake of having something interesting to look at. Additionally, we will create 3 small scripts. One for holding infos for our tooltip, one for handling the interactions with the text box, and one to control the tooltip. The syntax of the link tag looks like this, and it needs closing tags too. You can set any word you want in here. I'm going to call these keywords. These keywords are one of a kind. Okay, let's get to the code. The first class will be called link handler for TMP text. It is a Monobehaviour, and I'm going to stick it on the game object my TMP component is on, so I'll give it a required component of the type TMP text. Our class will get 3 private variables. The TMP text box, as well as the canvas the text box is located on, and lastly, the camera we want to use. There are multiple ways of handing a camera to a script. I am fond of just hooking it up by hand, so I'll have this show up in the inspector. In Awake, we will have our script find the needed elements. We need it to hand it our canvas as well as our camera, in the case of our canvas not being in screen space overlay mode, because the way our mouse position will be calculated depends on these values. To have our text elements be clickable, we'll add the iPointerClick handler interface and implement its member. We need to know our mouse position. We'll get it like this. Next, we need to check if there's actually a link below our cursor when we click. We check for it with this line of code. Please note, it returns an int value, not a bool. So if our value is not -1, which is the default return value if there is no link to be found, we need to get the link info of our tag text. My tooltip controller is its own script and I don't want to link them up, so I'll be using an event to notify it to show the tooltip box. To make this possible, we'll need to add a delegate and an event using the delegate like this. By setting it up like you see, we can now invoke the event down here and hand it a string parameter for the event listener to work with. Don't forget to set your event to static, or you won't be able to listen to it from any other script. Next up is our tooltip handler. It's just a basic Monobehaviour. It needs to know about our tooltip, its TMP component to fill it with the correct title, as well as its image component. I'll add the image by hand while having it search for the TMP component on its own, because if I were to let it search for it like I do with the text field, I'd get the background image. This is quicker for now. In onEnable, we'll subscribe to the event we created in our link handler and will unsubscribe from it in onDisable. The function to display our tooltip takes a string parameter. If we set up our previous script correctly, it will get this part of our text handed to it. To be able to look up a keyword and corresponding graphic, we will need a new script. This time it will be a serializable struct called Tooltip Infos. It contains a keyword and a sprite. Back in our tooltip handler, we will create a list, or an array if you like, of tooltip infos at the top of the script, and in our getTooltipInfo function, we'll search through the list's elements if an entry contains the keyword. If it does, the tooltip gets enabled, we'll set the title to the keyword and set the entry sprite to the tooltip's image component. We'll return at that point. If our script wasn't able to find an entry, we want to get notified, so we'll add this line as well. To make our system complete, we'll need some kind of Close Tooltip function. How you set this up is up to you. For example, if you add this setActiveFalse and add an event trigger for a click event on your tooltip, you'll be able to make it disappear by clicking on it. My version is just playing the pop-up animation backwards. All that's left is filling the created list with keywords and sprites, and of course tagging the elements in our texts which we want to be affected. Give your system a try. As you can see, the elements you can click on to trigger a tooltip aren't looking any different than the rest of the text. For them to stand out, you'll need to additionally tag them with a style of some sort like this. Watch this video to learn all about how and why to work with styles. It'll be worth your time, I'd say. In the next tutorial, we'll have a look at how to get tooltips to work in a system that works by hovering over certain elements, and how to further refactor our system to make it more modular. I hope you enjoyed my tutorial. Give it a like if you did, and subscribe if you enjoy learning more about design topics for your games. I'd love to read your feedback, and don't hesitate to post your questions too. Have a great week!